This conference will now be recorded.
So, let us see what are the tools that we require for automation testing, that list of tools that we need to download and set up. Okay, okay. Now, what are the Java tools that we require? What is the JDK version that we are using? If I have marked as double star, that means that is the tool that we are working on. So, I preferably work with JDK 21, but when you are working in companies since JDK 21 onwards, there's some freeware and enterprise edition, and some of the companies, if they want to use JDK 21, they have to go for the licensing and they can do it. But there is also another option for using JDK 21 in companies, that is called as OpenJDK. You can use OpenJDK software and you can work on it. Got it? So JDK 17 is a free tool. I mean, JDK like JDK 21, JDK 17 is also a free tool and it can be used anywhere. JDK 21 or JDK 17 you can use currently. Because in some of the companies you might be using JDK 8 and JDK 8 is outdated and JDK 11 contract ends in 2026. So that is why my suggestion is to start working with JDK 17 and JDK 21 directly. Then what are the code editors we can use in general? The IntelliJ, Eclipse and VS Code. But in the current market, what is happening? The main in demand tool is IntelliJ only rather than Eclipse. Previously, Eclipse was used to rule the market for test automation, but IntelliJ IDEA is one of the booming tools in the market currently. So when it comes to Git, we for Windows we need to download the Git bash, and if you are a Mac user, you need to do a brew install command for installing the installing the Git. So by default in Linux and in Mac, Git will be installed. Just in case if the Git is not installed, then you need to use brew install for Mac. For Linux, by default, Git will be installed. When it comes to API testing, predominantly used tools are SOAP UI, Swagger, and Postman. So now you see Postman is the leading tool for API manual testing automation. Along with that, we need to install Node.js for additional reporting for API test after API testing is done. Then we go for automation testing, where we use REST assured and HTTP client for REST and SOAP API calls. Then what are the database tools that we can use? SSMS is the tool that I'll be teaching in the class, but provided if time is there, I'll be covering MySQL and Oracle. And NoSQL tools, MongoDB is something we are trying to cover for this batch. And when it comes to CI/CD, we have to have Apache Maven, Jenkins WAR file, and a Docker file that we need to install. Okay, is this clear, everyone? Are the list of tools clear for everyone? Whatever I have marked with double star, that means these are the tools that we'll be majorly discussing in the class. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
clear? And in NoSQL tools, we'll try to cover MongoDB only. Okay, okay, let's get started. And before that, let me uninstall the tools in my system so that if I uninstall only, you will get to see what is the actual how do we install it clearly. Okay, till the uninstallation happens. So in our class, we are dealing with JDK 21 download. We can also use JDK 22 also, but if you are working with Jenkins or Docker, they support only the support JDK 21. That is the reason I'm using JDK 21, guys. Got it?
Yeah.
Got the point, everyone? Yeah. So I go to Java SE21 archive downloads. And if you come here, so please download the JDK version as per your operating system, guys. I'm working in a Windows 64-bit system. For Windows user, please use this Windows 64-bit system, not your compressed archive or MSI installer. Okay. Then if you're using Mac, you need to download as per your Mac and Linux as per your operating system. Okay. So if you click on this download, it'll take some time for this thing to be downloaded. Got it? So once this JDK is being downloaded, then what I have to do, I have to double click on this. Once I do a double click, then a installer window will open. pop-up coming. Do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? Just click on yes directly. Okay. So a pop-up will come. Okay. A pop-up will come. You simply click on next. Next. Got it? Got it, everyone?
Yeah. Yes.
In our code, during our learning, we'll be using JDK 21. Yeah. So just give it some time till it gets installed. Okay. Okay. So it is asking me to restart the system in order to apply the changes. Just give me a minute so that I can restart my system. Just give me a minute, guys. Okay. Hi guys, sorry for the trouble because when we install JDK 20 once, we have to restart the system in order to apply the changes. So that is the reason. So sorry for the trouble, guys. Now we are back online. Okay. Now we have installed JDK 21 successfully. So now we want to check whether it is verify now the installation has been done properly or not. Okay. So how do you verify whether the installation is done properly or not? Okay. Type Java hyphen version. If you type Java hyphen version, it will display the actual version number of JDK. Got it? Got it, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if it's still not showing the version and showing it's not recognized,
It will ideally will happen, but if in such case it ideally it should display because right after installation and restart, post restart, it will work.
okay. Because I'm getting that JDK is not recognized as internal or external command, so I think I'll have to check that.
Yeah, yeah. So just go through this thing. So once JDK is installed, you have to add the path in the environment variables. So go to C, go to your C drive, program files, Java, JDK 21, go to your bin path, copy this bin path, and I go to my control panel and I search for environment variables. Got it? So here what we need to do, you need to go to your path. You need to, so I already have my JDK bin here. Yeah. So I'll delete it. So what we need to do here, click on new, add this path here. Got it? Got it, Prerna? And all. Add this bin path
That
here.
way.
And you need to create a variable called as Java home. So I click on new, Java underscore home. You have to put it till JDK 21. Okay? This Java home is essential for running the CI/CD pipeline or Jenkins or something like that. Okay? So I click on OK. So you should always maintain the path in the system variables, not in the user variables. Got it, guys? Got it? So this is how we maintain the JDK. This is how we maintain the environment variable and Java home path. Okay?
So the environment variables has to be updated with the path in control panel system.
Control, you go to control panel and search for environment variables. You see a search bar, right? In the search bar, you click on edit the system environment variables. So you'll be getting the path there.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then what is the next thing I have to install? Git bash download. Okay, so you click on downloads for Git. Okay, if you are a Mac user, click on this Mac OS. You need to run this brew install Git. If you don't have a brew installer, there is a link for you to guide you how to install this homebrew in your system. Got it? You just need to run this command in your Mac and it will install the homebrew in your system. Once you install this homebrew, you can use brew install git. Got it, everyone? And if you are a Windows user, please download the latest version. use the 64-bit because my system is a 64-bit, and I hope majority of your Windows is 64-bit, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. So I downloaded it, then I click on in, then I'll install the git bash. So there'll be a pop-up coming. Do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? And I click on yes. So I click on next. Simply you click on next. Just a moment. Okay, now it shouldn't be a problem. Next. So click on next, next, next without changing anything, guys. Don't change anything. Even if you change a small thing, it will be a problem for us to work. Okay. Got it? So we need to install this git bash like this. Got it? So tools installation will take some time, guys. Yeah, tools installation will take some time. So I click on finish. Okay. Now we have installed JDK git bash. Okay. Then what is the thing, other thing remaining? IntelliJ download. When I say IntelliJ download, guys, so okay, accept all cookies. Now, most of you will be confused that what is Ultimate and what is Community Edition. Ultimate is the paid version of the tool. So don't go for Ultimate. Always go for the Community Edition that you have at the bottom. Got it, everyone? If you navigate to the page like IntelliJ IDEA download, don't download the Ultimate tool, Ultimate Edition. Download this Community Edition. Got it? And similarly, if you're a Mac user, you can come down and select the Mac version. Got it? Got it, guys? Clear? So, if since I'm a Windows user, I can directly download this tool. Got it? It's a very big tool. It will take some time for it to download, guys. Okay. Then we can also have Apache Maven downloaded in your system. Download Apache Maven. Okay. When you go to Apache Maven, you need to take this source zip archive. Okay. You need to take the source zip archive. Oh, sorry, not source zip, binary zip archive. Sorry. We need to download this binary zip archive. Got it? Then I'll see for SSMS download. So download SQL Server Management Studio. So please download the latest version. Download SQL Server Management Studio 20.2. Got it? Got it, everyone? The tools that we have to download and set up.
Yes.
So these are some heavy tools. Apache, IntelliJ and SSMS are some heavy tools which take some time to download and also to install also. So let us see how do we install IntelliJ. Okay. So it will take some time for the pop-up to come. IntelliJ. IntelliJ also a heavy tool which will take some time for it to download. So and I click on yes. So simply you click on next. Yeah, click on next. Create a desktop shortcut. Got it? Create associations is not needed. Directly click on install. Got it?
Sorry, are you sharing the screen? It's hung.
I'm sharing my screen. My screen is already shared.
Okay, we can say that now. Thanks.
Okay. So these are some heavy tools which require some time to install, but as part of the demonstration, I'm showing you everything step by step so that you can follow the same thing in your systems also. So I guess most of the people have no knowledge on Eclipse, right? Yes or no? Most of the people have knowledge on Eclipse, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Some have knowledge on Eclipse, some don't have. So that's fine. So when you are working on IntelliJ, it's almost the same thing like Eclipse, not major changes, but the look and feel is quite different. Okay. So I've installed IntelliJ in my system. Now what is the next tool remaining for me to install? That is SSMS. Got it? So let us wait for the pop-up to come. So there will be a pop-up coming up whether to install this or not. Yes, we click on install. So there will be a pop-up coming. Just click on yes. So sorry guys if it is taking a lot of time for the tools to be installed because I just wanted to show you the installation process in detail so that you will not have any trouble while working in your systems, because if the installations is not right, then it will be a very big problem later. Okay. Okay. So SSMS is being installed now. Okay, so the SSMS is being downloaded. Almost all the tools have been installed. And when it comes to Apache Maven, yeah, when it comes to Apache Maven, guys, so let me, okay, first we have to unzip this file. So this Apache Maven is very important tool when you're working with CI/CD pipeline, guys. So this bin path is there, na? You need to add this bin path in the environment variables. You can search environment variables like this also. Click on environment variables, go to your path. So you must be having Apache Maven. So I'll delete the old one and add a new one. Got it? Got it, guys? We have added the Apache Maven bin path. Is this clear with the installations, everyone? Any doubts? Any doubts, anyone? Aditi, Geeta, Prerna? Yeah,
No.
no? So let's get
No.
started with, yeah. So let's get started with a project. Okay, I have the community edition downloaded in my system. Let me open that. So just these are the initial hookups that we have after installing the tools. So it takes some time for the tools to be loaded. Okay. Now how do you open a project? How do you create a new project? So currently my screen looks like this because I have been using IntelliJ in my system for a very long time. That is why my screen will display like this. But if you want to do it, click on new. I mean, for you there will be option of new project. Okay. So what will be this? Okay, I'll be creating a project like this and I can mention this in the training classes. Okay, and I'll be using my build system as Maven here. Okay, your build system is Maven and I click on create button. Then I click on this window. Since I have created multiple projects and IntelliJ in my system, that is why it comes like that. So need not worry. Okay, now you see now you see this pom.xml. This pom.xml is the heart of every Maven project. So we'll be seeing all this POM folder structure later. Let us focus on some Java basics that we have to discuss today. Got it? It will create some sample packages and all. We'll be seeing what is the package, what is the purpose of this package and all the packages later. Now, what we will do, whatever the coding we do, we should do it in SRC test Java only. Why SRC test Java? We will discuss it in the later classes. So once we go inside any folder, our job is to create a package. What do you mean by a package? Package is like a shelf in your cupboard. If the shelves are organized only, then you feel like using then you feel like it's organized and you can find the things easily, right? Similarly, in coding also, we have to organize the code files in the form of a package. If you don't create a package also, it's totally fine, but having the code in the form of a package is always a good practice. Okay, August 21. Okay, so what I'll do, I will create a new Java class here. After creating a package, within the package, I click on new and I click on Java class. So what is the class name I can give? I can give any sample program. So it is saying like JDK21 is not found or corrected. So what I'll do, I will configure this. Okay. So if you face these kind of issues, now that means it is unable to detect the JDK file. So what I will do here, go to setting, go to project structure. Okay. So it is unable to detect a JDK. So it is saying like add SDK from the disk, add JDK from the disk. Just a moment, why it is not detecting the JDK? Just a moment guys, I don't know what's happening. My JDK is not being detected. So sometimes if the JDK is having a issue, so you can also click on download JDK here. So I want version 21 and I don't want this Amazon thing or something like that. Okay, this is not the official one. Just can you give me a moment guys? Can you give me a moment? Something has happened in the JDK part. Just give me a moment. C program files, Java. Okay. So mm,
Is it okay to share our screen maybe?
mm, is it, yeah, you can share. Yeah, please share a screen. One till then, I'll uninstall and install the JDK in my system.
Okay.
Who is willing to share the screen?
This is Jaya.
Yeah,
Maybe you can give the access.
yeah. I'm making you the presenter. Yeah, you can share your screen meanwhile. We will give a demonstration of how to create a project. Yes. So can you click on this three lines at the top, left top? Can you click on the three lines? Left top. Click on new project.
Yeah, I already created. Do you want me to
Yeah,
delete?
yeah. One more.
Okay, sure. No problem.
Just for the demonstration sake.
Yeah,
Again, you can
that's
delete it later. You can put some any random name, whatever name you want. Maven, then you click on create, this window. So it will be loading. So if you are working on Maven project for the first time, it will take some time for the Maven libraries to be loaded into your project. Okay. Now what we need to do? Now what we need to do? Go to src test Java. Got it?
Yeah.
Go to src test Java. Try creating a package. Yeah.
Okay, package name.
Yeah. Try creating a package name.
Okay, what do you want me to do? Anything?
You just put any package name. That is, for now it's okay. Right click, class, go to class,
New.
new class, Java class, give any name, give any name.
Yeah.
So once you give any name, this is how a class file is being created. So one suggestion I want to give everyone while downloading the Java is don't take the latest version of JDK 21, that is 21.0.3. There's a issue with JDK 21.0.3. That is why it is not working. So I'm downgrading to 21.0.2. I'll show you once the installation is done in my system, which version to download. There's some issue with the latest version of JDK 21. In JDK 21, there are 3 releases. So do not take the latest release of JDK 21. I feel there's some issue in detecting the JDK. Okay. This is something a bug we have to raise it in Java forums, I guess. Uh, Thank you, Jaya. I'll do the screen sharing from now. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
So whenever you're downloading JDK, guys, don't download the latest version. There's some issue with the latest version. JDK 21 download. If you go to the JDK 21 download, don't use this JDK SE Development Kit 21.0.3. Please scroll down. There is another version called as 21.0.2. This is the stable version. Please use this because there is an issue in detecting the JDK or JRE with the help of this tool. Got it? So please take the JDK 21 version 0.2. 21.0.2 is the version that we need to use for Java. Got it, guys? Is this clear, everyone? We cannot use any random Java version like that. Sometimes the latest versions will give you a lot of issues. Okay. Is this clear, everyone? Vandana, Geeta,
Yes.
Prerna,
Yes,
all
Rahul.
good? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So we will whatever the whatever logic we want. Just a moment. Whatever logic we want to execute, it should be present within the main method. Got it? Whatever logic we want to execute, it should be present within the main method. Why main method? Because Java compiler will recognize the keyword main and it will run the program. Tomorrow instead of main, if they change to mains or duplicate or any other word, tomorrow if they use apart from main any other word, then we also need to use that word. Because why main? Because Java compiler will recognize the keyword main and it will run the program. recognize it, and it will run the program. Clear, everyone? So how do we write a main method? Public static void main string args. Clear, everyone? We have to write the logic inside the main method. So if you want to print some data onto the console, we can write system.out.println hello world. Okay, it is not detecting the JDK again. Just give me a moment. Okay, it has detected the JDK here. That's great. Okay. Okay, when I say system.println hello world, that means it'll it'll display the data onto the console. That is hello world. Clear, everyone? Is this clear? Any doubts? So what is the shortcut for typing system.out.println in IntelliJ? Type sout followed by enter key. Got it, everyone? Is this clear? So I type sout followed by enter key. I can say this is my first program file. Okay, once I have written this, then I will run the program. How do I run the program? Right click, run. Got it, guys? Clear how the program has been executed? Is this clear, everyone?
Yes.
Prerna,
Yes.
Isha, Harman, Rohit, clear? So, what is the answer for this program? Can you tell me the answer for line number 17? Anyone? Can anyone tell me the output of this? Just give it a try, guys.
60?
Yes, it is 60. Answer will be 60. Okay, the answer is 60. So, it will also allow us to perform arithmetic operations in the print statement. Got it? Can anyone tell me the answer for line number 20?
Again 60.
Again 60. It's minus 580. How it is minus 580? In Java, we follow Bodmer's rule for mathematical operations. Okay? What do you mean by Bodmer's? Bracket of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. Got it? So as per
Yeah.
the BODMAS rule, first what we need to do, first we need to do a multiplication. So 50 minus, first we need to do a division. 50 minus 20 into 30 minus 300 by 10 is what? 30. Then we need to do a multiplication. Got it? Then we need to do what? Addition. 50 minus 600 is what? Minus 550 minus 30.
50.
Yeah. So this is the answer. Is this clear, everyone?
Yes.
Any doubts? Any doubts, guys? Good to go?
Yes.
So can anyone tell me the answer? So with the plus symbol, we can join two values. Got it? With the help of plus symbol, we can join two values here. So what is the answer here?
Minus 75.
Minus 75. Can you tell me the full answer, Ifne? Can you tell me the full answer? Just not
10
the.
by 5. 5 into 2 is 100.
Mhm.
150 minus 50. So value of A is minus 50.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So if see here, plus is used to join two values. So whatever arithmetic operation you want to perform, you have to put it in parentheses so that Java recognizes that this is a arithmetic operation. If you do not put it in arithmetic operation, then Java will not understand what is this. It will be throwing in compilation error. Got it? Got it, guys? Any doubts?
Yeah.
So I can also build a Boolean value that is true or false. We can also print Boolean values that is true or false. Okay, clear everyone? So when I say, so what will be the output of the program? Can anyone tell me? Can anyone tell me what is the output of the complete program? Hmm? Or else tell me what is the behavior happening in the last two lines. Complete output would be a difficult task. Can you tell me what is the output that will print?
It will print a new line of code in the same line like the last output after true, because we are not using ln here.
Okay. It will still print the data in the new line. If you see here, true is printing in a separate line, new line of code is printing in a separate line. Aditi, got it?
Okay. Yeah.
Confused?
Yeah, sort of.
Now if I run the program, now it is coming in same line. Confused, Aditi, a bit?
Yeah.
So what does println do? Displays the data onto the console, that is hello world, and moves the cursor to the next line. Got it? And moves the cursor to the next line. So what is happening here? After printing true, the cursor has moved to the next line. So when that
Okay.
move to the next line, it will print in the new line, that is new line of code. Then we have used again another print statement. So that is why it is saying it is a good line. So new line of code, it is a good line. It is printing in one line now. Got it?
Okay. Got it.
So what does print do? Displays the data onto the console. Simply it will display the data onto the console. Now again, if I use system.println, if I use the spaces, it will still come on the same line. This hyphens, whatever you have given while using println, it will still come on the left new line, same line, but the cursor will be moved to the next line. Got it, everyone? Got the difference between print and println, everyone? Aditi, Vijaya, Prerna,
Yeah, I
Geeta.
got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sachin, tell me. You raised your hand? Okay. Clear, guys? Any doubts with the print and println statements? Yeah? Is it good to go, guys? Shall I continue ahead or you want something more examples to see, have a look at it? Is it clear, everyone? You want any example or shall I go ahead with the next point? Guys, we need a two-way interaction, guys. This is not like
Eh,
me only speaking.
I think we are good. Thank you.
Okay,
Good from my side.
great. So let us discuss some variable concepts. So instead of writing public static void main, what is the shortcut for writing the main method? Type main followed by enter key. So I'll type the word main followed by enter key. Okay. Now, if I type the enter key, so let us see what is a variable. Variable is nothing but temporary storage of value. What do you mean by temporary storage of value? So, variable lasts only during the runtime. That means what? That means what? Once the program starts, only the variables will be created, and once the program is completed, only the variables will be destroyed. It will not store there permanently. Got it? Like how we have a reservoir. What does a reservoir do? It temporarily stores the water, and in the dry season, it will release the waters to the farmers, right? The reservoirs or the water bottle that you have, it stores the water for a while because we keep on drinking it. So where do we store the water? We store the water in a bottle, and we keep on refilling it because water lasts there only temporary because we keep on drinking the water. Got it?
Yeah.
Scope of the variable is during the runtime. That means what? It gets created in the runtime and it gets destroyed after the execution is completed. Okay? Okay? Can I go ahead to the next point? So what are the rules to be followed while declaring the variables? So variable name should start with a small letter. Variable name should not start with a capital letter, number, or a special character. These are some good practices that we are discussing. Variable name Variable name should not contain any special characters except underscore. Variable name should not contain any spaces between them. Variable name should not use any reserved keywords. What are the reserved keywords in Java? Got it? So there are some 57 to 59 reserved keywords in Java. Got it? Abstract, assert, boolean, break. These are the words you should not use as a variable name. Got it? Got it?
Yes.
Yes.
These are the words you should not use as part of your variable names. Okay? Apart from the 57 names, you can use whatever you want. So, what is the syntax of declaring a variable? Data type, variable name. Okay? Data type, variable name. So, before we declare a variable, let us see what are the different data types present. Primitive data types, non-primitive data types. What are the primitive data types? Int, char, boolean, float, double. If you can keep it on mute, Mahantesh, that would be great. Byte, short, long, yeah. Int, char, boolean, float, double, short, byte, long. Got it? Is this clear? These are the primitive data types in Java. What do you mean by this primitive data types? They are the fundamentals of Java. Like how we have in English, without the alphabets A to Z, we cannot form a sentence. Without the numbers from 0 to 9, we cannot form a number 10, 11, 12 like that. Okay. What are the non-primitive data types? String, array, list, set, etc. Got it? So these are the primitive data types and non-primitive data types that is present in Java. So how do we declare a variable? I can say int a1, char b2, float c3, double d4, byte e5, short f6, long g7, boolean h8. Got it? This is how we declare a variable. So what do you mean by a character? Accepts a single value like small a, capital a single digit number, or a special character, or a white space, etc. What do you mean by Boolean? Accepts true or false. So what do you mean by a byte? Accepts a range
Excuse
of,
me,
sorry?
that character accepts that underscore as well.
Yeah, anything like a single value, anything of a single value. Okay.
Okay.
Range of values from minus 32,768 to 32,767. Accepts a range of values from minus 2 power 31 to 2 power 31 minus 1. Accepts a range of values from minus 2 power 63 to 2 power. Okay. What do you mean by float? Accepts up to 5 decimal digits. Accepts up to 16 decimal digits. Is it clear, guys? What are the different data types and how it behaves theoretically?
Yeah. Yes.
Others? Vijay? Yeah,
Yeah.
good to go. So how do we initialize a variable? Variable name equal to value, b2 equal to empty, c3 equal to, we need to use the letter f at the last to determine it is a float value. Okay, got it? So if I give a range, if I give a value that is greater than the range, it is asking me to uh, convert this byte to an integer, or it is asking me to cast this into a byte. So in order to avoid this thing, just reduce the value. Okay, G7, letter L is used at the last to determine it is a long value. Got it? Got it, guys? Clear? Now if you want
Yes.
to print the values, you can print it like this. You can print the values like this. Got it? Got it, everyone? Aditi,
Yeah.
Harman. Yep. So let me run this program. So these are the values that will be being printed onto the console. Okay. Now can we perform arithmetic operations with the help of the variable? Absolutely you can. A1 minus G7 into B2. Can anyone tell me the answer for this? Can anyone tell me the answer for this? Line number 60.
294 baud mass కదా G7 ఏంటి? Oh, I need a calculator. Right.
0.
We can't do arithmetic operations on different data types.
Because B2
Yes.
is empty.
Yes, it
Yeah,
will perform.
it will.
It will.
Minus 1095194.
Minus.
I believe answer is 0.
1095194.
It's minus 700554650.
Okay, I have considered different values which you have input for D4 and G7. Okay.
Yeah. G7, the value is 21893 21893 892342. A1 is 294.
But
Okay.
but the B2 value is empty, right? It is considered as a 0, right?
Oh, no. You have to go to the ASCII table. Whenever you're performing any arithmetic operations with a character, it will take the ASCII value of the space. What is the white space ASCII value? 32. What is this ASCII and
Hmm.
all? We understand English, Hindi, Malayalam, Tamil and all. Java understands only ASCII values. Even though we write A3, B3, something like that, internally they are converted into ASCII values and then only it can understand. The ASCII values is something Java will understand. Got it? So, whenever we are dealing with characters in arithmetic operation, we have to take the ASCII value of that character. Now can you tell me the updated answer, guys? Now assuming that B2 value is 32. 32 is the ASCII value. Can anyone tell me the output? Hmm? 294 minus 21892342 into 32. Can anyone tell me the answer? Can anyone tell me the answer?
Minus
Minus
seven.
700554650.
Yeah, that's the same I
Yes.
got. Yeah,
4650, correct.
that's right.
Got it? Got it, guys? Clear? Is it clear, guys? Any doubts? How we can perform arithmetic operations with the variables? With a Boolean value, we cannot perform any arithmetic operations. Okay? Is this clear, guys? Any doubts? Hmm? Is this clear, guys? Any doubts?
It's clear.
So this is how we declare the variables, we instantiate and we do it. Got it? So we are done with variable concepts also today. The basics of variables. We can also see some different types of variables. Now if I declare this variable globally, this is called as a class level variable. If I declare a variable here, it is a local variable. Got it, everyone? When I say a local variable, the scope is within that method only. Okay? We cannot access this variable outside the main method. Okay? We cannot access this method outside the variable. Clear? Any doubts? Yeah? Then there is another variable called as, now if I say private, so I have declared the private int b as 2000. Here also I have declared a variable b as 2000. Ideally it should throw an error, but it is not throwing because the scope of the variable is different. What is happening here? I have declared this variable outside the main method. Here I have declared the variable inside the main method. So what is happening? It will override the value b that is present outside this main method, and it will take this 200 as the value. Got it, everyone? So this is called as an instance variable. Got it? When you say instance variable, this variable is accessible within that class only. Okay? There are 3 types of variables in Java. Actually, there are total 9 types of variables in Java, but as for the learning perspective, if we know these 3 different kinds of variables, that is totally fine. Is this clear, guys? Any doubts?
Hey, what about the
Which
global variable over here?
class level or global variable? This is only a global variable, sorry. Okay.
I
So
still
it's
did
in
not
private.
understand private.
So yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I still did not
Uh,
understand private.
So private is a access modifier. That means what? If you want to access this variable outside the class, it cannot be happening it. That is why it's called as an instance variable. That means only in this class only it is present. Whereas if you want to access this variable outside the class, you can still access it. That is why we can say it as a global variable or a class level variable. Got it, Prerna? I'll discuss the access modifiers more detailed in the next upcoming classes.
Okay.
As
So
of now,
what
just remember what,
what
sorry,
are the three types of variables you just mentioned? The
global,
local
instance, local.
variable and the
See,
okay,
global
local instant and
variables,
global. Okay,
instance.
thanks.
Yeah, yeah. So as of now, everyone remember that private means the scope of that variable or method is within that class only. Okay. Is this point clear, Prerna?
Yeah, now it's clear.
Are you trying to say that private and class variable as well as global variable both are same, right?
See, private variable is instance variable. That is the separate thing. If you don't use any private word, that is called as a global variable. Why it is a global variable? Because when we other classes want to access this variable, they can easily access this.
Hmm. Okay.
So it's basically like, based on the access modifiers and the location where we declare this
Yes,
variable,
yes, yes,
the nature of the variable changes, right? Okay, okay,
yes. The
thanks.
nature variable changes. So there are more other variables like volatile, transient, atomic variables. A lot of variables are there in Java, but let's focus on this three. And if you need and if we need to discuss any additional variable concept, we will discuss it at that particular point of time. As of now, just remember this thing. Got it? Got it, guys? Clear? Is this clear, guys? Any doubts?
I am good. I'm good, thank you.
Yes. I hope it's the same for everyone. So can you all practice till here, guys? Can you get your installations ready and get the things going so that tomorrow we will discuss all the concepts about strings and characters tomorrow? Okay.
Okay.
Sure, definitely.
So I'll be sharing the list of tools that you need to install. I'll share a notepad file so that you will understand what is what. Because JDK, we have to use JDK 21.0.2. 0.2. If you are trying to use 21.0.3, you will face a issue that JDK is unable to recognize. So Prerna, can you uninstall 21.0.3 and install JDK 21.0.2? That will solve your error.
Yes, I will do that.
Yes. So in the latest, always when you are working with Java, don't take the latest version. Try taking the version which is lesser than the latest, like one version earlier, so that you will not face any challenges. Got it?
Yeah.
Got it, guys? Clear? Just a moment. Also, we have also prepared a cheat sheet for all the Git commands, which we'll be discussing in the next weekend. All the Git commands, what is there? So these are the Git commands that we'll be covering in detail, because there are hell lot of Git commands that are present in the Git repository. So what is the things that we need to know? I have formulated a document called as Git commands, where you can see this in the next weekend. Once we start discussing about the Git in the next weekend, then we can see what are this each and every Git command, how the Git mechanism works in detail. We can also see. Okay. So just be ready with your setup and installations, guys. So that in the tomorrow's class, we'll be discussing about strings, characters, and all the stuff. Got it?
Okay.
So for every class, I'll try to prepare a cheat sheet for Java, like now how we have discussed variables. I'll try to maintain some document for the class so that at the later point of time, it can be very useful for all of you. So there is another question. Now you might be wondering, now Git is not there. Now Rahul has discussed 3 programming files. How will I get these code files? How will I get these code files? So there is a concept called as, so there is a concept here. Do a right click on create gist. What is this gist all about? Let me show you. Simple programs. So by default, keep all these 3 checkboxes selected. So this gist is nothing but it is a mechanism to share all the code files. If there is a situation that you cannot use Git for some reasons, or Git is not ready, but you still want to share some files, else you can use this gist.com. Just you can create a gist of this file and you can work on it. You can do a right click, create gist, so that it will create a file. It will create your code on the GitHub, and on sharing this link with you, you can see what is the code file that you're working on. Got it, guys? Got it, everyone?
Okay.
How do I create a gist?
So there is no need to check in and check out and pull,
Yeah, for
the.
a while.
Okay.
For a
Okay.
while.
Okay.
But if I
Since we are
need
discussing,
this design reference, then
sorry,
if that
sorry,
file need,
Mahathi.
if I that code needed in future reference, then again I need
Hmm.
to use that same model.
Yeah, same URL. So just as something we people as automation engineers, we use this because we don't want to check in into the GitHub, see what is the exact issue. They'll be sharing us the code files in the form of a gist. Later we will see what is the issue in the gist, and we will also put our comments here. We will put our comments here. By the basis of the comments, they'll understand, okay, this is my issue, this is not my issue. We will discuss all these things. Similarly, when we are going through our course, if you feel any issue or challenge is there, don't share the code file to me. Have a practice of sharing the gist link to me, so that I will go through the gist. If I feel any mistake is there in the code, I will write my comments here and I will share the updated changes. Got it? Got it, guys?
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
And and for some people, this right click create gist will not be available for some reason, I don't know. If you don't see this option, right click create gist, then what is the other thing you need to do? You have to use gist.github.com. If you use gist.github.com, okay. Now what you can do, now I have discussed variable concepts. Copy this whole code, paste it here. What is the description you want to give? Discussion about variable concepts. So what is the file name you want to put? Variable concepts.java. So always create a secret gist as part of the practice. There is option called as create public gist also. Plus, but always create a secret gist, because if you are sharing a URL as a secret gist, now whosoever you are sharing the URL, they can only see it. Got it? To whomsoever you share the URL, only they can see this gist. That is why always go for create a secret gist. Got it, everyone? Is this clear? How do we create a gist manually?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is how we need to practice in our course also. Whatever issues we face in Java, for now, before we start with Selenium, you have to share all the issues in a gist file. You have to share your program in a gist file and write the issue that you're facing in the comments so that I will understand what is the issue you're facing and I can fix it and I can share the code then and there. Got it? We'll make a practice for our batch. Is
Sure.
this clear, guys?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, guys, that's the end of the class for now. Have a great day and please get the setups ready. Thank you all. If any doubts, you can stay back.
Thank you.
You're sharing the document to
I'll share the links
to
in the group.
okay. Okay, thank you.
Mm,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, see you, Ifnay.